Finian's Rainbow, as produced by Lee Sabinson and William R. Katzel. With Finian's Rainbow, with Ella Logan, David Wayne.
3 colors for Finian's Rainbow album cover. Good for them. Almost all of them. Go ahead.
On the 10th of January in 1947, I'm going much more Northern Europe. Going real.
A little Scandinavian.
Mix them all together. Whatever.
On the 10th of January in 1947, Finian's Rainbow opened at the 46th Street Theater in New York. The next morning, the town had a new musical hit, and there was still standees in the audience as the show rolled past its 500th performance in the spring of 1948. In the hands of extraordinarily gifted cast, this enchanting blend of music, comedy, and social comment became one of the memorable musical comedies of the decade. Tuneful, witty, and alive with movement and color. Finian's Rainbow spins a fantastic story of 2 themes. The touching hope of an elderly Irishman that the crock of gold he has stolen from the leprechauns will multiply in the fertile soil adjacent to Fort Knox.
What?
Yeah, with the government's reserve as an example.
What? It says that? He's trying to duplicate the Fort Knox Reserve with a stolen pot of gold?
Yes. Finian's, I'll back up. I'll read that again. Finian's Rainbow spins a fantastic story on 2 themes. The touching hope of an elderly Irishman that the crock of gold he has stolen from the leprechauns will multiply in the fertile soil of 2 adjacent Knox. And I went, again, real Scandinavian with that one.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Well, so it's a play. It's a show.
Yeah, I think this is a soundtrack.
Okay. And the plot of the show is that there's an old man who steals gold from a leprechaun, not a cereal. And then in America, plants the gold in the soil near Fort Knox with the hopes that he will grow more money.
Yeah, and I haven't even.
So it's not even like an acre or 2 away. It sounds like he's across the street and they let him do this.
Is this propaganda to tell European immigrants to invest their money in America?
Is this about savings bonds?
I think it is.
With that, I think it's time for me and Steve to guess the year.
I'm going 70s for this one. I'm going to go 74.
I want to go higher, but just like a little bit. But I don't want to just step on your toes.
Step on them. I got big feet.
You know what? You said 74?
You're going to go 75, aren't you?
I was going to go 76, but actually I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go an even 70. This is a original Broadway cast recording.
The movie came out in 1970. Original productions in New York and London. The original Broadway production opened in 1947 and ran for 725 straight performances, which is what I believe is being referenced. So I think you were holding a record from the late 40s, maybe early 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, because it mentions its 500th performance here at the beginning.
Wow. It's running for 725 performances. Holy
I was not ready for that. That seems way early.
Apparently, and Mark and I are former thespians, but this had never crossed my radar before. But this is like still running. Like this is like there's YouTube clips of like high school theater groups, and it's like in 4K. It's not like early YouTube. It's like recent YouTube of like, oh look, we put on Finian's Rainbow. Like what?
So there's theater nerds that are watching this video. One of the tens of them. They're like yelling at the screen for the first half of this of like, we don't know what the hell we're talking about. They've never heard of this. I'm doing an Irish.
If you've been in Finian's Rainbow, get us in the comments.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And that's not even half the plot. That was only the first sentence, half of the first compound sentence.
Right. Teach me more about Finian's Rainbow. I don't want to read about it on the internet. I want to learn about it right now.
And the fight of an engaging group of sharecroppers to preserve their land against the encroachments of a demagogue from the state of Mississippi named Billboard Rawkins. The Irishman has an attractive daughter. The sharecroppers are led by a handsome young man. And the leprechaun who comes in search of the gold, alarmed because he is turning into a mortal, falls in love with the hero's sister, who speaks with her feet because she's a mute. We're just going to pause for a moment.
There's a lot to unpack there. There's a group of young people. There's an evil tax man. There's a sheriff and a cute daughter. There's a leprechaun who's becoming mortal, but the sheriff's daughter is mute and opts to speak with
Oh, shit. Oh, hear me out. And then she does feet shit because she's feet. Oh, fuck, that was good.
This sounds like when, you know, the companies that make like your children's drawings into like plush animals and stuff like that, and they like find every detail, and it has like a car for back legs and stuff. This sounds like that, but for theater.
You guys remember HR Puffin Stuff?
Yes.
Vaguely.
Puffin Stuff.
They turned into the McDonald's characters later through copyright and the same people doing them. Right. Two things. Serious talk. One. We should have an HR Puffin Stuff watch party on this channel.
Okay.
2. You guys want to write a screenplay?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I mean, it sounds like everything we would have suggested is covered in Finian's Rainbow. So, like,
I mean, really, there are no new ideas. Everything's been done.
That's the most original idea I've ever heard. So I'm not sure how to top that.
Yeah, we have the state of Mississippi. The demagogue from that state is named Billboard Rawkins, and it does seem a little bit like a parody of America in the sense of, like, have you seen the Japanese baseball game where they use made up American names?
Oh.
And you get the guy that narrates them?
Yeah.
It's a little like that. Where were we? Well, I'm going to go Columbo from Princess Bride. Yeah. They're called the leprechaun who comes in search for the gold, falls in love with the hero's sister. She speaks with her feet. Because of the magical properties of the gold, the senator is transformed into a likable person. The sharecroppers retain their land, and the curtain falls on a rousing finale.
Oh.
Yeah.
The eel charges at her, and then...